Hey there. All right, so we'll just give everybody a few minutes to pop in and start. So we'll see what happens here. I'm going to share it on my page. Sometimes it takes a moment for people to come in. So hey, everybody, stop in and say hi and let us know where you are, and we'll get started in just a minute. So I'd like to see where you're from so we can see where we've reached. This will be really exciting today. All right. I'm just going to share here. Here we are. Share it to my page if I can. There we go. Hi, Andrea.
From Florida.
Andrea's from Florida. Yay. Hey, Andrea. Thank you for joining us. I am just sharing this to my page.
I miss Florida.
So it's fresh. Have you been to Florida?
I have. I miss those gorgeous thunderstorms.
Hi, Brianna. Nice to see you. Thank you, everybody, for stopping by. Hi, Vanessa from South Africa. Oh, awesome. That is so cool. Vanessa, were you here the other night, too, for the guided meditation? I had a lot of South Africa from during that, and I thought, oh, that is so awesome. So, Andrea. Hi, Andrea. It's stormy right now. Okay. It's, we're both in Southern, this is Elisa Lee. I'll introduce her in just a moment, but we're in Southern California. And it's been kind of overcast today. Even had a little bit of sprinkles. So it's been a lot cooler than we've had. And it's going to gear up for some heat, I think, later in the week. But so great. Hey, everybody. Today what we're doing is, this is kind of like a little talk show format. We're going to be talking about crystals and angels and anything positive, vibrations, thinking. And Elisa, she is a dream expert. So she is here to answer your dream questions. If you have dream questions, we're not going to get too deep into like interpreting them, but I can give you her contact information for that too. But if you have questions about dreams, symbolism and how to dream and lucid dreaming, anything that comes up, any kind of questions that you want to ask, please do so. Elisa and we met during taking a crystal course together by Hibiscus Moon, right? We were taking it at the same time, and we met there. But it's very interesting that we found out that we live very close together. So we actually met in person too, and we've become really good friends. And I'm so excited that you're here with me today. She is also an angel intuitive, so she does card readings as well, and she's like I said, dream analysis. And what did I miss? What else do you?
No, the angel therapy. The dreaming, the dream analyst, and also the crystal certification. So I do crystal work as well.
Yeah. Okay. So any of those things. So if you have any questions at all that you want, or just a topic you want us to talk about, please do so. I've got some crystals to show, and I think Alyssa's got some crystals to show. And please let us know what you want to, what you want us to talk about today. So thank you, everybody, for joining in. Hi, Carol. Nice to see you. I've got Shannon. Hey, Shannon. Nice to see you. Lakeisha from New Jersey. Shannon's from Pennsylvania. Oh, my gosh. We've got a great group here. This is awesome. So let us know, guys. What do you want us to start on? What's your questions? Throw it out there, and we'll get going. So do you have anything else you want to add as far as like the dream stuff that we can cover? Anything that...
I think the biggest question I get all the time is from individuals that say, well, I can't remember my dreams. I wake up and I don't think I even dreamed, which I can understand because they don't remember it. But in fact, everybody dreams every night. It's a universal language. However, it does take practice. It's like practicing a muscle, and it does take some time. And the biggest way you can open up to it is intention. before you go to sleep, creating some affirmations, to tell your mind, to get it trained, say, hey,
Mm-hmm.
I want to remember something today, even if it's a small image, it doesn't have to be a full storyline. And you do this day by day, and slowly it's going to start open it up, almost kind of like a little like a tunnel. It starts off really small and then it just broadens and gets wide open. I would know what it would feel like not to dream, just because I've been dreaming since I was like 2, and that's as far as I can remember my images then. And when I look back, they weren't as elaborate as they are today. They were kind of
Right.
transparent, but today, of course, full on stories. I mean, it feels like a giant, dramatic movie. Really great. But the intention is the first and the most important step to get someone started on the dream work.
Oh, that is great. That's great. Yes, I know. I've struggled with remembering my dreams, and we've talked about that before. And when Elisa came and did some workshops in my town for me when I had my actual shop, and the tips that you gave me really helped open that up for me. I've been more of a meditator than a dreamer, and I've kind of led my focus to stay that way. But when I do dream now that or when I remember the dreams, I should say, I'm so excited, and then just to think about the symbolism and try and pull it apart and figure out what it's trying to tell me is really exciting.
Now,
I've got a couple questions coming through here. Let's see what we've got. And we can both answer, and we'll just see what happens, either or. And the first one is from Anne. Does that show up on your screen? Did it show up
yes,
on your screen? Okay.
yes.
Can you use crystals if you have cancer? First of all, I want to give you a little disclaimer that we are not medical providers. We are not doctors or licensed by the state, and we cannot provide medical advice, and we cannot diagnose or prescribe medication. Crystal therapy or energy therapy is an alternative and can enhance treatments. However, if you're seeing a physician for this kind of thing or any kind of issue, you might want to talk to them first before you engage in any kind of alternative therapy or energy work. So I've got to throw that out there. I think it is, you can use crystals for anything. But again, you probably should talk to your doctor first before you try it. I would probably like to know a little bit more about the background. I'm not sure if that's something that you want to disclose right now, Anne, but what are your thoughts on it, Elisa?
Well, I think, first of all, crystals are always basically, they're aids. They kind of, they're an add-on, they're an attribute,
Mm-hmm.
and enhance things. And so with crystals, I think you need to use a combination of a crystal and visualization, or
Mm-hmm.
meditation. But I would hone in on your body and use the crystals to meditate with it or place it on your body. And when you do visualization, visualize the cells in your body moving through and taking that energy from the crystal and spreading that positive energy
Mm-hmm.
and synergy through your body. See the colors moving through the motion of your,
Right.
whatever you may be attracted to. I use a lot of purple light when I meditate or do visualizations, and literally see the cells in your body, see them
Mm-hmm.
getting better, see them working as a team and getting that oxygen through your body, see your heart. A great way to do it is just get into your body and scan your whole body when you're meditating and visualization.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yes, I think meditation is a huge tool for that. I've used it to heal so many physical and emotional and mental problems that I've suffered from.
mhm.
And just the beginning, when you start to meditate and you feel this deep inner peace and joy, that's the beginning of the healing process itself, because you're starting to strip away the stress and the worry and the things that bog you down mentally. It's just like it frees you, excuse me, it frees you from all those heavy burdens. So it's definitely a great tool to do if you're able to do it. I suggest everybody meditate. I tell everybody to do that. So
Right. And get that rose. I'm a big fan of rose quartz. It's very common
mhm.
crystal, I know, but
Oh yes,
it works miracles. One of my favorite.
I have
Yeah.
this here all the time because we talk about it all the time.
polished one. I have this one with me that I love, and it's shaped like a
Ooh.
heart. And it's
Oh.
this one's a raw piece here, but it also it fits right in my hand. That's what I love about
Mhm.
it. So if I'm experiencing any anxiety or some type of emotional imbalance, this guy's in my hand or she's under my pillow. I'm woken up in the middle of the night, kind of getting stabbed sometimes, but I
Yeah.
love that it starts in my hand and then it almost ends up where it needs to be, that
Right.
it needs
Yes.
to work on.
Well, that's another thing too. When you're looking for crystals or when you're wanting to start with crystals, the ones that you need most will gravitate towards you, or they'll let you know if you're in a crystal shop and you just like kind of hone in onto one. That's probably one that you need most. So kind of pay attention to that when that happens.
Yes.
So let me see what else we have here. Shannon. Hey, Shannon. How do you set intentions with crystals? That's a great question. So, I've used this for grid work. We talked about grids last week, and I'm actually going to do a show this week more on grid work. But when you hold a crystal, there's a lot of crystals that you can program with intentions, and it's like quartz, calcite. I've got some Herkimer diamonds here today. You can do that with that. Those are awesome. They're little strong little suckers for their size,
Very strong.
right?
They pack
Um, they pack a punch. So you really focus, you hold your crystal, you focus your intention on what you want out of it, and you just kind of communicate with your crystal through your intention, your third eye, really focus on it, and set that intention with that crystal to help you with what you want to do, what you want to achieve. Um, and then you can revisit that a lot. I actually coached somebody to program their crystals, and it's something too, if you hold it with you a lot and revisit that a lot, and every time you hold it, you think about that intention, it kind of amplifies that. It brings that back out, that it's kind of like a telepathy thing in a way, you're communicating with that crystal. So do you have anything you want to add about that too?
Um, Intention is so important. When I first started working with crystals, I started to collect them very quickly, just because they're all over the place. And actually, I saw a question earlier from a friend of mine, Rose. She had asked about her insomnia, which I want to cover. And I need to ask her, does she keep her crystals in her room? Because in actuality, I can't sleep with too many crystals around me, because they're speaking to me,
Mm-hmm.
providing information. And so I had to start taking the crystals out of my sleeping space and kind of narrowing it down to what worked for me.
Right.
Everybody's a little sensitive in different ways. So you have to
Mm-hmm.
kind of pay attention. How do you react? So to Rose, maybe you have to keep your crystals in one room and only sleep with one per night. But that being said, the intention, I love using music to set intentions.
That's
You
a
know,
good suggestion. Yeah.
yeah, put the music on. I kind of play and get some peace, and I set it's like a little wish. You're putting
Mm-hmm.
it out there. Your mind is powerful, and some people might consider it odd. I'm talking to rocks, and that, hey, I'm okay with that.
I'm okay with it. I talk to them. I listen to them.
I
Yeah.
actually have this. I have this amethyst right here. It's a small one, and Debbie, this is the one that you gave me. You dropped off to me, and she's adorable, and I call her Bird. She's a little bird, because I can hold her in my hand like this, like she's like a
Mm-hmm.
little bird. And I keep this one in my pocket a lot, and I use this one for protection,
Right.
and to prevent any negative energy or negative people
Mm-hmm.
or situations, to keep it far back. And also use light for intention. Visualize, whatever
Mm-hmm.
color it is, or a big white light around it, and just charge it up. I mean, it's
Right.
the best way to do it. Use all your senses, but your intention is
Right. Right.
the most important thing.
And use what the crystal's properties are too. You know, if you're using an amethyst, use their strong points for like peace and comfort and protection. And if you're using a rose quartz, use their properties of the love and the forgiveness and compassion. So use their strong points too.
And
and you don't even actually, a lot of these, you don't have to set an intention. You just use them for what they provide. When I meditate with crystals, I just hold them in my hand and just receive what they give me. There's a lot of times I don't set intentions with crystals. I just receive what they give me. Their healing properties, be it physical, mental, emotional, or spiritual guidance, can be all or any combination thereof. But matter of fact, the only time I really set an intention is using grid work or if I want protection. Usually that's the most time when I set intention for myself. But you could use it that way too. I mean, either way, intention or receiving. I think, yeah.
And if you're not sure what, I'm sure you've recommended this book a million times, but this is the Bible of all Book of Stones. I highly recommend it simply because it goes in great detail.
And they actually did studies with these crystals. They did studies with these crystals and documented it. This was my beginning book, of course.
Yeah.
And it describes all the crystals and their pictures and their properties. But the book that Elisa showed, they actually used the crystals and described what came from that. So that is a really excellent book. And I recommend both, actually. Yeah. So this is a quick guide, quick look me up. And that one is more in depth, more in detail of what you can really expect out of the experience by using those crystals. So, hey, Carol, nice to see you. Glad to see you. Thank you for popping in. Hey, we've got 14 people here today. Hey, Shelly from Detroit. Nice to see you.
Nice.
All right, Kathy. Hey, Kathy. Nice to see you. I talked to you earlier today, huh? Oh, great. Okay, here we go. This is a great question, Carol. Can you briefly explain lucid dreaming?
Yes, lucid dreaming is fantastic. Lucid dreaming is actually when you're in the dream itself and you realize that you're dreaming. And what that can mean is you're in control of the situation. You can start making decisions, and those decisions that you're making, you're aware of them, whether it's turn left or decide to speak to this person or decide, maybe a wave is coming towards you and you really get to decipher how large it is. It does take practice, okay? And one of the techniques that I learned from Charlie Mosley, who is great, he's a young dream lucid practitioner who teaches all over the world. But he said that what you can do is practice awake, look at your hands, and say, these are my hands, and when I see my hands in my dream, I will know that I am lucid dreaming. Okay, because this is a signal. You're training your brain. If you take the time to do this a little bit every day, it'll start to digest. Now, when it does happen, and this is my experience here, when I first did that technique and I was dreaming and it showed up and there's my hands in my dreams, I got so excited. Wow. And it pulled me out of the dream so quickly. I got so thrilled. I said, oh my God,
you reached that state.
Yeah, you hope it works, but I didn't literally think, and seeing your hands in your dreams is very rare. Because everything usually happens in front of you. You don't
right, yes.
Your own body. So that is a great way to practice that. Again, look up Charlie Mosley. He just has a new book that just came out as well. I don't have it on.
Is this one that you've ever read or worked with, or?
That's him.
That's him?
It's Morley. Sorry, I'm awful with names. He's great. He has another that just came out too. And I think you can watch some of his stuff on YouTube as well.
Yeah, I think that's one that you recommended for us to watch. It was really good. So after the show, I can get that link and pop it in here for everybody to see.
Yeah, definitely. check him out.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
one of my faves. And my other favorite is Robert Moss. This is a CD. It's an audio. I like using audio because, you know, I have kids and I work full time, so I'm always back and forth. I'm always in the road out here in California. We're commuters out here, and this CD is a 8 CD case. He's amazing. He's very refined. He has an elegant way to speak and share about dream work. And he takes in ancient civilization, and he talks about Egyptians, and he talks about tribes from Australia, and the meaning. And he does it so profoundly. So I recommend him, Robert Moss, hands down. He has books out too, but again, this was something that worked out better for me. And I believe I got this on Amazon, so should check it out. So I definitely recommend it.
Oh, thank you. That's awesome. I'd like to get to that state. I haven't got to that point myself. I can do lucid meditation, but not dreaming yet. We'll get there.
It is tricky. It's hard, even for me, as much as I dream. I mean, every night is an adventure, but
and you journal your dreams too. Don't you recommend that? Do you journal your dreams?
Journal your dreams?
Yeah.
Very much so. The best dream interpreter that you can ever meet is yourself. It requires you to look within yourself. That's very difficult for us as a culture. I mean, especially in the States. First of all, dreams are kind of taboo, and everybody really just wipes it off as if it's kind of not required or you know, little and minute, when in fact, you know, when you open those doors really broad, this is your subconscious providing for you. You know, this is my conversation with the universe or with God or with loved ones. And we tend to not pay attention to it because it doesn't, it's parallel to our waking life, you know. But in dreaming, there's no time, there's no boundaries, there's no limits. And that's scary. I mean, it is scary, but you have to start detailing and writing it down. And how did it make you feel? You know, if I dreamt about a horse coming towards me and it was beautiful and it was great and how it made me feel, it might be quite different for you. If you saw a horse, maybe it's a bad childhood memory and horses scare you, you know? So looking it up as far as the symbol is good, whether you use a dream dictionary or you can do that online, that's a good way to guide you, you know, to use an idea on what it means, but really it's about what does it mean to you? What is happening in this dream? How did I feel? You know, and that's it. How do you feel? We don't even like to feel in our life a lot of you. So to ask yourself to try to feel in your dreams, it's tricky, but once you start doing that, then you become a better friend to yourself. You know, you get connected and you understand your emotions, and then you kind of start seeing the world differently. The goal is the waking life like a dream. It is it's all a dream, and it is magical, and there's mysticism. So when you start doing both, you start to appreciate and have gratitude on both levels. It's very, very helpful.
It is definitely another tool to tap into things that you need to know for yourself, for your own guidance or your own healing or your own well-being or your own journey, all of those things combined. And I remember when you were teaching this before, that emotions are a big part of this. And you told me, well, you know, when I would ask you something about a dream, you'd say, well, what were you feeling during that particular dream? And just remembering the emotions you were feeling during the dream, that really helped me a lot, because a lot of times it was corresponding to things that were happening in my life, even though it was like a symbolic dream. But, you know, I had to kind of figure out the pieces, but it really correlated with what I was going through during that time. And just realizing the emotions in the dream itself was a huge piece of the puzzle. So, that is just, I just love this stuff. This is
Right?
just great. Yeah, it's great. Oh my gosh.
Excited every day. You know, I have two young boys, and when they wake up, I'm like, "What did you dream about? What did you dream about?" You know, and I mean, they've gotten so good at it, you know, and they wake up and you know they just tell me in so much detail, you know, of what they're experiencing, and I encourage it totally every day.
Oh, that's wonderful. If you can start that way, that's wonderful. That way you're just, it's just part of your experience, your human experience. It's just part of your
Right.
routine too, So that's great. Hey, Elizabeth, nice to see you. Annie, nice to see you again. Let's see here. Um, all right, Bev, let's see. How can I let go of past relationships? Are you looking for, let's see, crystals to use, or are you looking for, do you dream and are you trying to interpret your dreams this way? Definitely, I would suggest rose quartz to work with that for healing your heart, getting over the grieving process, forgiving yourself, forgiving the other person, finding the compassion in the situation, forgive the situation itself. There's a lot of that. There's layers of that with past relationships. There's what caused the problem, what caused the hard feelings, or the causes of the situation, plus the actions of the situation, what either person did or didn't do. And there's so many layers to it. But I think, honestly, I think rose quartz is probably your best crystal to work with and meditate with it, carry it with you day and night. This is one you could sleep with, like Elisa said earlier. This would be a crystal to carry with you 24/7. But I would really, really work with it. I mean, meditate with it, hold it, and really dive down deep with it so it can heal you from deep within, because that's where you need that.
Yes. Cut those cords too. You know,
Oh yeah.
we have all invisible cords that attach us from experiences and from people. And you know, I don't know if you work with angels or not, but I like to go to Archangel Michael. You know, he's got this beautiful big golden, you know, beam of light, you know, and of a sword, and cut that cord. And I think the key thing that you said, Debbie, was forgive yourself. That's hard. I mean, I've had to
It is hard.
experience that, and you have to forgive yourself and understand that you were in that relationship at the time. You're doing what you knew how to do, the best that you knew how.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a gift if you can look back and just learn from it, you know, and
Right.
understand, you know, if there's red flags there and you were picking bad relationships over and over again, think about it. Say, well, what do these relationships have in common? You're the common denominator here, okay? Because you're making those
Mm-hmm.
decisions, and say, you know, ask the angels or have crystals help you and say, hey, help me make better decisions.
Right.
Surround myself with to choose to surround myself with better people, you know, and just stay away from all those bad relationships, but cut those cords.
That's excellent advice. Thank you for that. Yeah, that's great. And like you said too, it's all a learning experience. I think we're all here to learn different things. Some of us learn the same thing, have to learn the same things, but we're all, different, and we all have unique things we're going through. And we all have to learn, and that just might be one of those processes that you have to learn and grow from it. So I wish you all the best, Bev. Okay. Oh, Rose. Haha. What is your favorite crystal to help insomnia? Well, I've got one. I'm sure you have one. You go ahead and I'll go after you.
Insomnia, to be honest with you, I don't have too much trouble with insomnia. I'm tired. I knock out, but I always wake up at one point in the middle of the night, usually about 3.
Mm-hmm.
Narrow it down to one crystal. I wonder, Rose, do you keep crystals in your space close to you? Because insomnia, like I said, if you're really connected to your crystals and you have a lot of them nearby, there might be just a lot of interference. Just think about a lot of radio waves flying over you in the middle of the night. But we keep going back to the rose quartz. I mean, this is my number
That's a
one
good one.
favorite.
Yeah,
Amethyst
yeah.
is good too, but rose quartz does something. And look into gem elixirs. You know, getting it in your body might help it just as much as just maybe not putting it only under your pillow. Making gem elixirs is very easy to do, but there is some guidelines you have to go by because you can't digest every stone.
Right.
Hibiscus.
There's some toxic stones you want to be careful of.
Right, but rose quartz, I mean, I'll take a rose quartz, I'll put a glass bottle, I'll get some actually, you know, alkaline water, you know, I'll buy it from the store. I put
Mhm.
3 rose quartz in a glass container. I pour the alkaline water in there, and then I surround it by other crystals with the intention of calming effect and let that sit. Usually I let it sit
Mhm.
for a day or two where there is sunlight or there is a plant, and let it sit and
Mhm.
try drinking that. Make enough for you to have some before you go to sleep and see what it does for you and set that intention there. So that's what I recommend as far as
Right.
insomnia. Try that out.
That's true. I remember talking to somebody else that had this problem, but they had like a full-on grid under their bed. And I said, well, what do you have in that grid? And they said a lot of clear quartz. I said, well, that's the problem because that's going to have to keep you wired. Like,
Yeah.
so there are crystals that are good to have near your bed, and there's some that are not. And rose quartz, of course, is great. I have next to mine amethyst and a moonstone, and I love those. Let me show you this amethyst. I don't have one quite this big, but you can also use like a tumbled amethyst. I don't have one handy, but just put that under your pillow. But I love amethyst, and
Ooh,
isn't that gorgeous?
yeah.
This beauty's for sale, so if anybody would like to purchase this. But I just set it like next to the side of the bed, you know, and just receive the energy from that way. I don't particularly like to use them under the pillows because I don't know, I just don't. But I do recommend people try it. But you can put these beside your bed and just receive the calming effects from it that way. And one thing I've got to tell you about too is I used to suffer from insomnia so bad. I was on like Tylenol PM for years. I was addicted to this stuff and it was not helping. I was addicted to it. I was popping these pills and they weren't helping. But I felt like I had to take them because I can't sleep. You know, I was just in that, ugh. So, you know what helped me most of all to get rid of that is meditation. And I noticed immediately. As soon as I started to meditate, I found that peace and calmness deep down inside. And after that, I've been able to sleep on a regular schedule just naturally. I've dropped the pills and I have these by my bed, the amethyst and the moonstone. But I don't take any of that stuff anymore. So try that. And another thing too is try a calming bath before you go to bed. Put a few amethyst tumble stones in a bath water with some lavender essential oil and Epsom salt and just soak for a while. And that'll just be really calming and soothing and just get that energy started, that calming energy started. So try some of those things. Let us know how it works for you. And,
Something,
stop back by next time.
something
Yeah.
just came to mind too on that. Just popped in my head right now. Don't you love that? Um, you know, I know for a lot of people, meditation is very tricky, and I
Mhm.
get it. But what one thing you can do before you go to bed is when you're laying in bed, go back to the moment you woke up and visualize your whole day. I'm talking about visualize yourself getting up, everything that you did, brushing your teeth, making your breakfast, getting in your car, stopping by the gas station, going to
Yeah.
work, going to the bathroom, whatever it is, try to visualize that through the whole process. Usually, I think it's going to take you a good at least 3 to 5 minutes to,
Hmm.
depending on how much detail you go through, and just
Yes.
go through your whole day. It'll exhaust you a little bit. It'll go, okay, I went through my whole day. That's, there was progress. You kind of go emotionally when you went through your day and then try to go to sleep. And that's good for dream work too.
Yes, that's awesome. That's an
It's
awesome tip.
Yeah.
And you know what? I'll take that even another bit further too, is when I do that, because I do that every day and night. In the morning, I'll visualize my whole day and things working out the way they should. And then
Mm-hmm.
at night, I'll go through the whole day again and keep being thankful for the things that went right, and the things that didn't go right, I'll be thankful for that, for the lessons, or for changing it to a positive thought instead of a negative thought of whatever the case may be. But I also bring in the angels and say, please, in the morning, I said, please help me with, I give them the list. I say, I need to go to the store today. Please help me get through there easily, and please help the traffic flow smoothly, and please, everything that I have to do that day, I bring in the angels to help me through with their energy throughout the whole day, and ask them to be with me through the whole day for all of these things that I'm going to encounter. So, we're throwing a lot of good stuff out there. I hope that you guys find this useful. Let me know if you find this stuff useful. Let me know if it resonates with you. So let's see what we got going here. All right. Oh, Elizabeth, your full moon meditation was wonderful the other night. I fell asleep afterwards. Thank you. So if you shared it to your page, you can listen to it at any time. And matter of fact, Bev, this is perfect for you also, Bev. Let's see, I think there's another comment for you for letting go of your relationships. The full moon meditation I did the other night guides you through completely releasing anything that no longer serves you, and that includes relationships. So your situation might take a little bit of time, but you can start that releasing process of getting it off your chest, getting off your shoulders. So look on my videos and you'll see the full moon releasing meditation. It's recorded and it's there. I can post it here when we're finished, but it's about 20 to 30 minutes long. And we just go through, I guide you through the whole thing, and we just release everything that no longer serves you. And that's one of those things that you're requesting. So try it, and you can listen to it if you if you share it to your page too. You can listen to it over and over. You can listen to it every day. So until you start to feel better. So try that too. Especially with anybody that struggles with meditation, it's a guided one, so you don't have to think about things. I'm telling you to think about things through the whole thing. So it kind of takes off some of the stress of what do I do?
Yeah.
But thank you, Elizabeth. I appreciate your comments. Let's see here. Vanessa, how do you verify the authenticity of crystals? Can people sell fake crystal stones and pass them on as real?
Oh, yeah.
That happens a lot. Yeah, it does. And I know you've got to be careful too. When you purchase things online, you're just not sure what you're going to get until you get it. So there are a good amount of fakes out there. I think the more you use them, the more you're in tune with them, you'll know what is real and what is not. But there are several tests too to do. I don't have those handy right now of how to test if they're fake or real. But do you know offhand, can you remember offhand how to test, Alyssa?
For me, it's kind of like weight.
Weight, intuition, weight.
Yeah.
There's
Intuition,
some tests you can do, like
plastic ones. You'll see that there's a lot of crystals too that are treated.
Or dyed. Yeah.
Or dyed. Yeah. Which is fine. I mean, the dyed ones and the enhanced ones are really nice. I'm not a huge fan of them, but it's just more of a personal,
right.
What you're attracted to. So those don't make those aren't considered fake. They're just, enhanced.
They're just altered. Yeah.
They're altered, but weight is for a big thing for me, and that's how I sense. I can look at it and be like, well, this is plastic. I mean, it's glass and plastic are much lighter.
Lighter, right.
Weight. When stone is a piece of mass, so you have to take that into consideration. And like Debbie said, just be careful who you're purchasing by. I always make sure, like if I'm buying off Etsy, I like buying from Debbie here because I know.
Thank you.
And look at this. I bought this beauty off of her, and she picked us out in Tucson, right?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Love her, but I know that her integrity is there, and her commitment to picking the right stones is there. So mass production, things like that, you want to kind of consider, be careful on eBay, but look for the comments. Go inside and see how everybody's
Hmm.
reviews are, and that'll tell you right there, no, these aren't real or whatnot. They'll indicate it for you.
Right.
There is places out there that are selling some fake stuff, but
Right. Yes, there are. And one that comes to mind right off the bat is amber. And that one's hard to find. That's the real thing. Um, but it's one of those things. Just do your research with the vendors. See if they know what they're talking about. See if they sound like they know what they're talking about. Read the reviews, and I'll look up the heat test things, and I'll post that too after the show, because there's some heat tests where you can like heat a needle or something and stick it in some of them to make sure. But of course, you can't go into a store and do that. You know, I think Elisa's idea of like weight wise, if something feels like really light, that's probably a good indication that it's you might reconsider. So,
mhm.
but I will put a little note here that I'll put the toxic stone list on, and I will put the how to check for fakes list. So that's a great question.
Yeah, it is
I'm
very.
writing this down so I don't forget. Thanks, Vanessa. All right. What we've got here. Okay. Bev, have problems letting go. This is the one with the relationship lately, the emotional can't let go of relationships. Yeah, so Bev, try that full moon guided meditation. Give that a try and grab yourself a rose quartz. And matter of fact, do that together. Do the meditation online, that I talk you through it, and hold your rose quartz at the same time. And do this day after day. I'm going to tell you to do it every day. I really suggest you do this every
I,
single
I
day.
I got a message for Bev. You're her angels. They are on you, Bev. I have a message for you. You need to work on self love. Okay,
Hmm.
you have to work on loving yourself. That has to come first. I noticed on your comment earlier you mentioned he doesn't want me. Well, don't that breaks my heart when you say that, because you are valuable. You deserve to be loved.
Yes, right.
um, and it starts from self-love, so you have to
Mm-hmm.
start turning that around. um,
Mm-hmm.
he can't help you with that. That is something that comes from within. And when you start doing that, you're going to be okay in any situation, whether you're with somebody, which is great to have a partner that you're in love with and you share with, but also that you can stand on your own. That is the most important thing, is
Yeah.
self-love. So pay attention to how you're speaking to yourself, because it does
Mm-hmm.
sound like you're very hard on yourself. Keep loving your child. Show, child, that you love your child, of course, and yourself. And if you can keep things at peace, because I know, trust me, I've been there, so I know how difficult it can be having been separated and raising a child. But try to find some compromise there, and just work at maybe co-parenting and start there, and grow from there. But self-love, Bev, you've got to turn that around and start giving that back to yourself first.
It is hard for us to learn self-love. And I just discovered that last year for myself, the first time in all my many years I've been here, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
And because we're not taught to think about that. We're not taught to think about ourselves first. We're always taught to give, give, give. And okay, that's important too, is to give of ourselves to others, but we really need to take care of ourselves deep down inside. And self-love is part of that. We need to realize that we're unique and beautiful and special. And each and every one of us are. I recommend too, since you brought that up, is check out Louise Hay's mirror work. That will guide you through how to do that on a day-to-day basis. And it's things that you do on your own in the bathroom. Look in the mirror in the bathroom. Nobody else is around. They don't have to hear. And you just work on your own self-love, looking in the mirror and appreciating yourself and loving yourself. And that really helped me a lot, because I used to look in the mirror and I was very critical. I would find all the flaws, all the problems, all the physical, all the emotional, all the mental issues that's like, that hold us back. But when you can start to shed that stuff too, you start to your love starts to come out to the universe, and it starts to go out and expand. And because you look at yourself as at a different way, you see yourself differently. And when you can appreciate and love yourself, that's probably the greatest gift you can give yourself, I think. It
Hmm.
truly is amazing.
And it
It really
shows.
is amazing. It
It shows
shows. It
you.
will attract love. It will help heal these things. It might not attract this relationship to resolve in that kind of way. It might be just just might be go your separate ways. I don't know. But it will attract love in a way that is mutual love, yourself and another person. It will be equal grounds. So that's awesome. Great comments for that. Shannon, hey, what is that diamond one? Were you asking about the Herkimer diamond? I have a lot of these lovelies. It's
Those are
probably
those are my
hard to see, but these I pulled out some crystals that help with dream work because that's kind of our one of our topics today. Is this coming through blurry? I don't know. It's
yeah, it's a
kind of
little.
hard to see.
Well, what's great, Herkimer, they call it a Herkimer diamond because it actually comes from Herkimer, New York. They're a little bit pricey, um, but so worth it. You just stick one of those on your third eye during
They are.
meditation. Or I love using that one for dream work. Like if I want to
Hmm.
go beyond and go out there, I use my Herkimer.
Yes.
Mine are kind of tiny, so I keep them in a little satchel so I
Yes,
don't lose.
they're smaller. They're smaller typically. Yeah.
Yeah.
As you can see, this one's probably about the size of a dime. Um, and they are a little bit more expensive, although I have a lot of these. I don't know a lot. I've got like 7 of these, and they're only $4 a piece plus
Oh, that's
shipping.
good.
So
That's a
contact me if you
deal.
want one. That's a steal deal, right? That's a
Yeah.
really good deal. I know that is a really good deal. And I have smaller ones actually for $3 a piece. But they have a lot more energy than your normal quartz point. I don't know how well you can see those. That's a smaller one for $3. But you can use this and get so much out of just a small little thing. You just put it on your third eye like that, and oh boy.
Oh,
You'll
yeah.
definitely need to ground yourself, Shannon, after that. We've
Yeah.
talked about grounding. All right, let's see here. Lakeisha, let's see. I have rose quartz, but nothing to cleanse it with. Would love to sleep with it tonight. Should I just use it? Is it a tumbled stone or is it a rough stone? I would just run it under some water real quick. It'd be fine. Yeah.
Music. I'm going back to
Music, sound. If you have
sound.
sound
And
cleanses stones.
go on YouTube and type up,
Like
what you want to
type it in
experiment,
sound bowls or singing bowls. Type up that kind of thing in the YouTube thing.
or
Yeah.
make classical music, whatever
Hmm.
calms you.
Hmm.
Um, calm the stone down with it. I mean, you definitely don't want to play any um, Def Leppard or anything like
Oh
that.
no, yeah, right.
Do that. But music is a great quick way, or just put it
Mhm.
outside. But you're right, running it through water and your
That's
intention.
just a quick fix. Water is a real quick like cleanse. If you have sage smoke, you could sage it. So there's a few things like that you can try. So if you're in a time crunch tonight, you can just do the sound thing and rinse it under water and you're good to go. Anytime you purchase new crystals too, you'll want to cleanse them. So it's just your energies, not the person before and before and before and before. So it's just a good idea to good habit to get into. Um, this is a good question, Shannon. Are you supposed to match the intention with what the purpose of the crystal is for? I don't think that's necessary. I think it helps amplify if you use the crystal properties. But I think whatever you're using it for your intention, I don't think it's required. You can use it for whatever you want. I think it'll help you with other things probably easier depending on what you're trying to do. But try it. What are you working with, and try it and see what happens. What are your thoughts, Elisa?
Um, you know, I, I use a lot of my intuition,
Hmm.
even though in my brain I'll pick something up and know, okay, I know that these are the general properties for it, but this is what I'm
Hmm.
going to use it for. I mean,
Right.
your intuition is probably first and foremost.
Yes.
On So if there's a, like uh, I use here's a little piece of smoky quartz. I use this for protection, keeping me grounded. Keeping me not so spacey. Because sometimes I can just, oh my gosh, my mind can just go and full of ideas, but I can't ground myself. I can't get it on paper, and so I carry this guy with me. But maybe for you, it doesn't do that. Maybe for you, this enhances your dream work. Maybe this helps you write. Maybe
Hmm.
this helps you focus. There's no right or wrong way. Those are
Right.
always just main guidelines for you. Um,
Hmm.
and it might be the complete opposite for you. Um, it's case by case. You just gotta just hone in into yourself and listen to your own body and the reaction to it. But
Right.
right or wrong.
Right. Yeah. Everybody does respond differently to different crystals, and everyone seems to gravitate to different crystals for different reasons too. I
Mhm.
use similar ones quite often, whereas somebody else might not use these at all. So you have to just find what works best for you in whatever situation you want out of it, and trust your intuition with it. It's always right.
Good.
Oh gosh. Okay. Uh-oh. Let's see here. Um, let's see what other comments we have. Oh, yes. Herkimer diamonds are not real diamonds. It's not like a diamond quality diamond. It's like Elisa said, it comes from Herkimer, and it's a mine. They're all mined.
I take
Although
I take a
it,
Herkimer diamond any day over a regular diamond, just so you know.
I would too, actually, because working with, I mean, I have diamonds. But quite honestly, I don't, other than just it being a diamond, I don't really get much out of real diamonds. Whereas crystals, I can get a lot of information or guidance or healing from. So I would take one of these over a real diamond too. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah,
I wouldn't have told my husband that like 20 years ago, but I could have saved him a lot of money if I did. But yeah, and these are actually, they have a little bit more clarity than some of the like typical crystal points too. Not all of them, but there's a lot of Herkimer diamonds that have a lot of clear. They're very clear. I don't know. These are not coming through very clear
yeah,
on
I
the
wish I had
camera.
mine on me. The ones that I have, they're pretty tiny, but wow,
Hmm.
clarity, you can see right through them. And Herkimer typically has like these
Yeah.
little black minerals specked
Hmm.
in them, um, but
Yes.
they're stunning.
Yeah, they're really cool. Yeah. Maybe we should make Herkimer diamond, I'm sure they do, necklaces or bracelets or rings and
Oh
stuff
yeah,
like that.
seen, I've seen them.
Okay, here's a good question from Elizabeth. What about reoccurring dreams? That's a
I get
great
that
question.
over and over. Great, great, great question. I'm just going to use one of my dreams as an example. Well, okay, if there's a nightmare, we'll just use that as an example. If there's a nightmare that you are having over and over again, that typically indicates that you are not facing one of your fears, that
Mm,
you're running away from it. It could be an emotional fear. It could be about a decision you have to make. Um, it could be just a challenge you're going through or something that has to do with yourself, maybe a characteristic. I don't want to say a flaw, but maybe something like that you have to work on. Um, Next time you dream about like a nightmare per se, turn around and face it. I've done that. I've been working on that the last 2 years and I love it. I mean, one dream that I always have, because I will not watch The Walking Dead. Uh, I have friends that are huge fans, which is great. But when I watch it, I have nightmares of these zombies and they come after me and I get terrified and I start running the other way. But recently I've been able to turn around and just defend myself and just pretty much put myself out there and say, you know what, I'm going to fight for my life. And I think that has everything to do with me speaking up for myself. It has to do with not allowing people to walk all over me, and having a true voice. And that's what it's about. So look for those parallels. What's going on in your life that it's a big challenge for you? And it's about reflecting. That's what dreams are, reflecting on yourself. So turn around and face those fears, man. Yep. Good advice on that.
I just posted to how to get in touch with you on Instagram. If somebody wants to get deep into their interpretations, they can contact you on how to, make an appointment with you or something like that. So please, reach out to Elisa if you want dream support or angel therapy or crystal therapy, any of those things, we both do that sort of thing, but yes, absolutely can reach out to her. So, oh, Shannon, what is lucid meditation? Okay. I have done this. I meditate every day, and some days I just focus on being quiet and healing, self-healing, depending on if I need that or not. Other days I go into meditation with a purpose, wanting guidance, wanting direction. I have gone into meditation to tap into past lives. So I can kind of use this kind of thing where you go into a deep meditation and you go into and you remember a past life while you're in meditation. And doing that, I can go in and control what happened and reverse things that had happened. So I can kind of remove karma from that past life. It's something that takes practice, and you need some I use crystals that really get you deep into meditation for that. So I've also used it to do like if I wanted to do like an astral travel type of thing with in meditation, I can do that. So it's kind of like that in a way. It's like something that I'm wanting to achieve, and I'm kind of in control of where I want to go and what I want to experience. But I need to be in that state to do that. Does that make sense? I don't know if this is making sense at all. But it's something you really have to practice. You have to be in a really deep state of meditation to get to that point. I feel I do anyway. And once you get into that deep state, then you can kind of control where you're going, what you're doing, what you're asking. And you can just go on a journey and, or, get specific guidance or see a past life or, reverse cut vows or cords from past lives or agreements. Those are the kind of things that I would use that for. So,
and I think
go ahead.
When you do that type of work, don't take it so seriously. Just kind of have fun with it. Just go for it. I'm a big daydreamer. Even as a kid, I would just daydream about, Prince Charming or whatever this is. But, imagination, use your imagination, if you feel like you can't get there visually, put yourself in a movie. My favorite is traveling, meditating and going into, ancient Egypt is one of my favorites.
Mm-hmm.
And when I get there, I could feel the sand, on my feet. I can smell the air and the food.
You feel like you're right there.
Cooking. I could feel the sense of the society,
right.
Celebration coming,
the time period.
Yes, you just, it's to unlock it and to unleash it. Start by just having a little bit of fun and don't think it has to be so serious, and I think that's the misleading thing is people think meditation is like, I'm just mindful, peaceful, perfect person. And no, it's not about that at all. It's just about giving your mind a chance to breathe and do what it's capable of doing, and
Hmm. Hmm.
visualization. So
Right.
have fun, run with it.
Yeah, have fun. Absolutely. There have been experiences when I've gone into meditation and I've got some information from whatever, some guidance from my spirit guides, and so like the next day I would want to go back and revisit that. So that's where I would kind of focus, like, okay, I'm going to go into that state, and then when I get to that state, then I can kind of control getting back to that specific um, conversation or that specific time, and then I can kind of move about at that, in that way. So it is pretty amazing. So Shannon, I think you've got a great start on your hands with meditation and crystal work. So keep working with it, because you're gonna see some amazing, wonderful things. And I just love meditating with crystals. I think it's easier to get into that state, the deeper state of meditation, using crystals. And you don't have to go that far too. For those who don't want to get there and do that, you don't have to go that far. But it is pretty amazing, and you can tap into other realms and other dimensions, and other, spirit guides come, from all over, and you're just like, wow, it's truly an amazing experience. It's just, I can't verbalize it enough. It's amazing. Okay, Rose, you have 100 crystals right under your bed, clearing them out right now. Okay. Let us know. Comment back when this is posted
Oh,
as a
great.
recording. Yeah, post us. Yeah, let us know tonight, tomorrow. Post and see how if it made a difference for you.
No, I'm sure it does, Rose. Rose, that just means they're like your little babies, and they just want to talk to you. They're your mama. They want to talk knowledge with you. And if you have too many there, it's like having, them all at you at once, tugging at you, like, hey, pay attention to me, pay attention to me. So just keep them in a separate space, and your sleep is your rest time. That's
Hmm.
that's your time where your body needs to rest. And
Yes.
okay, nothing bad at all.
Yeah, no problem at all. Hi,
Hmm.
Megan. Do you know of astral travel? If you astral travel, because I've had a dream my husband moved and Dad's ashes, and next he he next morning, and he did in my dream. Actually saw him move them.
Oh yeah. Yeah. How do you know? You just answered your own question right there. You just know. You were validated completely, that you had an astral experience. It happened in your dream, and then it happened in waking life. And that's very common. And the more you practice, the more that's going to be an everyday occurrence. Happens to me all the time. You know, that's a great thing. And that's something very special. I mean, that's your dad's ashes. So
Hmm.
that's also your dad kind of communicating with you as well, showing that he is present and he's always with you, energetically and in your dream work. It sounds like he can connect with you that way. And so embrace that. Astral can be different for everybody. For me, when I go pretty far, when I first started practicing about 4 years ago, uh, I used to think my bed vibrated every night at a certain point. It felt like my whole bed was shaking. And it happened to me every
Wow.
night at the same point. But what was happening
Wow.
is when I was going into a deeper sleep, basically, my spirit, would be ready to go, and fly out and dream. And it is, I've had dreams where I've hovered over my own body. Or be in the space that I'm sleeping in. And at first it can be very terrifying a little bit because you're aware that it's going on. But say your affirmations before you go to sleep, and say, hey, I'm okay with astral traveling, but make sure that I'm a little more grounded and my awareness is up so that I can utilize it for the best.
Hmm.
But what a blessing. So your dad kind of came through to you to show you. Yeah, very cool.
That is so awesome.
Hmm.
Oh my gosh, that is so cool. Oh my goodness. Recurring dreams. Hey Kelly, were you here earlier when we talked about that? I'm not sure. Maybe Elisa, you can just briefly touch
Yeah,
on that again?
reoccurring dreams are reoccurring issues, issues that you have to deal with and you have to face. And it's usually a challenge within yourself that you have to work on, or something that you're fearing a little bit. It could be maybe a move, it could be your job, it could be a coworker. Pay attention to them if it's reoccurring. Um, I know this sounds silly, but I have that dream where T-Rex is running after me, just like the Jurassic Park movie.
Mm,
It gets me every time. Every time. I mean, I'm terrified. I'm like, again, again. And with me, that has to do, I believe for myself, has to do with my own judgment and how hard I am on myself.
mm,
I am. We're all critical of ourselves.
we
And,
are.
yeah, and I think that that reminds me of the pressure, the unnecessary pressure that I put on myself.
Yes.
Um, so when I have that dream, I know, okay, what am I overthinking? What kind of pressures am I putting on myself that I don't
Yeah.
need? That's not
Yeah.
necessary. So take a look at it that way and see if that helps.
Oh, thank you.
Mhm.
Okay, let's see here. Lennon, hi, Lennon. What crystals are good to help with addiction?
Malachite.
Um, yeah, that's a good one. Yes. Amethyst is a sobriety stone. Um, what is there's a few that are really good. Um, let me think. What else?
Yeah, I've recommended malachite. I've recommended amethyst, but malachite, um, pricier than most stones, but
Hmm.
beautiful.
Yes,
Um,
it is. It's a little
green.
more expensive. It's
Yeah.
stronger energy, definitely stronger energy, and it's something that you have to use in small doses, I think. Where amethyst you can use day and night, I think malachite would be something that you use
Well, even if you get like
periods of time.
like a
Hmm.
small tumbled version, not
Hmm.
a big one. Get a
Yeah.
small tumble. It's green. It's so beautiful. It's
Yes.
beautiful. I recommend definitely working with that. I've had some people tell me that they've had really good experiences. Addiction, there's a lot to it. I mean, the malachite helps. It enhances. It helps to remind you of your self awareness and your growth and to get through those challenges.
Yes. Right. I'm putting my website too. If you want to purchase some tumbled stones, I'm going to post that as well. Um, so that is good. Okay. Do I, let's see, Vanessa, do I ship to South Africa? What would it cost? Well, it depends on what size and how heavy it is. If you want something rather small, I know I'm in the States, so it costs quite a bit to ship to South internationally for something small. It costs about $15, something like that, crazy, US dollars. If you want something heavier, it's going to get really, really expensive, just the shipping cost alone. So it depends on what you're looking for as far as that goes. Well, we can calculate it out if you know what you want to purchase. So I posted my website too, so we can kind of get that too. Vanessa, you're also asking about white sage. Now I do sell that too, but I am honestly not sure if that would go through customs. Um, they might look at that and say, I don't know. So, is there anywhere in your, country that you can purchase it online? I don't know. Is it not grown there? I don't know that either. I know the sage that we use here is typically California white sage, or a lot of it's grown here, but I don't know if there's sage that grows naturally in South Africa or not. I'm really not sure. But I would see if you could find vendors in your country to see if you can get it that way first, because I really don't know if it will go through customs.
Maybe you might have better access to Palo Santo. That's a great
Yes,
alternative.
yes, it would be. Yeah, that would be easy to ship to. But Palo Santo, I actually might have one here to show you. It's a little stick of wood. and that might get through customs a little bit easier than, sorry, probably making a lot of noise with that. It might get through customs a lot easier than sage would. And I just say that because my intuition is telling me that, you know, because it's a dried herb, they might question, you know, first of all, we don't like to accept that kind of thing coming into our country. So I'm assuming that might be true for others. But they might question exactly what is it. Even though it might say sage on there, they might question what it is and throw it out. So that's why I think you probably should look first in your own country if you can find it. Here's Palo Santo. It's a beautiful stick of dried wood, and you burn it. It's hard to get lit at first, but once you do, it has a very, very calming scent. And you use the smoke the same way you do as sage. So we might have a better chance of getting this to you than a sage stick. So it's something to consider. So that's a good idea. Tammy, which crystals are good for protection and healing? Well, there's a lot. It depends on what kind of healing you're looking for that side of the question. But for protection, I love hematite and black tourmaline. I only have a black tourmaline handy, but
got mine.
I wear, there you go, you got a good size. I have a black tourmaline grid around my house, and if you sign up for my newsletter in my page, just click the sign up, you'll get a detailed video on how to create a black tourmaline grid around your house. But I also wear a hematite bracelet when I go into places that I think is going to be heavy negative energy, and or into new places that I don't know the energy. And I have found it to be very, very effective. So I sell those on my website also. So check those out. So it's black tourmaline or hematite, or even smoky quartz is good to use. I don't have one of those handy to show. But those are my favorite for protection. Yeah. And as far as the healing question goes, it just depends on what you're looking for healing. And
if it's your heart, you can try aventurine for your heart with the green. That'll work very, very well as well.
Yes, that's nice. That's a good one.
Yep.
Let's see here. Okay, we'll take a couple more questions. Lakeisha, this is interesting. Okay. While I'm asleep, I often experience being awake. I can hear what's going on around me, and I'm able to think, but I can't move. What does that mean?
Wow, that's usually sleep paralysis, typically. So your body is asleep. I mean, because at night, your body knows when to start kind of turning off and allow you to sleep, but your conscious is still awake and it's still aware. That means you're probably a very avid dreamer. You probably dream a lot, or you're at the beginning stages of getting into a deeper version. I know for some people that might be daunting, but that's really great. Oh, how exciting. And that just means because your awareness, you'll probably make a great lucid dreamer if you experience that. But your body is asleep because your body does need rest, and it sounds like your subconscious and your mind is still going. So you're able to access and still utilize your hearing. If that bothers you and it's not something that makes you feel comfortable, then I would do some affirmations before you go to sleep. You know, write down on a piece of paper, allow me to sleep peacefully with serenity, without an interruption. You know, fold that piece of paper and put it under your pillow, set that intention out there. But I think it means you like to work at night. That's what I like to say. I work during the day and then I work at night. And I work really hard at night. And, you know, it sounds like you're ready to kind of unleash your dream aspect. So get a dream book, start reading, start learning a lot more. I think you would have a great time. It'd be very adventurous.
Wow, we have been going for an hour and 15 minutes. This has been incredible. Wow. Hey, everybody, show Elisa some love, and let's see some hearts and some thank her for being part of our talk show today, or Q&A. And hopefully, if we get enough hearts and thank yous for her, that she will want to come back. So I hope she'll want to come back for another time.
This is my first
So
time, so I'm loving it. I love sharing and talking about um, all these subjects and empowering each other, you know.
that's what I love to do this for. We come together as a group and we're all, learning together and we're all growing together and we have these common interests and it's all good and beautiful and I love doing these things. So and I love connecting with my viewers here. It's just awesome. So let us know if you would like her to come back. Say a lot of yeses here because I want her to come back.
Thank you.
So yes, please. And I do really thank you, Elisa, for taking your time out of your busy time and schedule to come help us with this dream work because that's something that I still need a lot of help with too. And it's oh the yeses are pouring in here. So
Pleasure.
so yes, we will schedule her to come back in the next few weeks. Yes, and please connect with her on Instagram. She's building her website, her business website as we speak. And as soon as that's ready, we'll post that too. And if you have specific dream interpretation things, she's your girl, and she can pull apart those kind of things and tell you exactly what's happening. And also angel card readings too, and crystal healings, any of these things combined, please reach out to her. And so yes, we've got a lot of yeses, so it's confirmed you're coming back.
Peace and love, everybody. Have a blessed day, and thank
Yes,
you.
thank you for joining us. I'll be back later this week to talk more in depth about grids. And I think there's something else too, but I'll be posting that. All right. Thank you, everybody. Have a great afternoon, evening, and we will see you soon. Crystal blessings.
Crystal blessings. Bye.
Bye.